This is something that I feel I should really talk about, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. As an Afro-Indigenous Latino, I don't like that they label Clawdeen Afro-Latina, but I also don't hate it. For those who don't know, Afro-Latino means that you have two black parents. Both of your biological parents are black, but you guys are from Latin America or you're Latin descent. In TV shows, you rarely see anybody that looks like me. You probably see somebody that's like Selena Quintanilla or Shakira or Jennifer Lopez. You don't really get to see people that look like me or darker. As Latinos, even in our own community, you really don't see people like us either. You see white Latinos or mestizos at best. A lot of people think that being Afro-Latino means that, oh, one of your parents is black and the other one is something else. No, that's not what it means. Afro-Latino means that you are a black person, but you are Latino. Latino is your ethnicity. Because many people don't know this, and because we don't get to see this in media, it's really difficult as black Latinos to identify ourselves. Even when I was a kid, I never told people that I was Latino except for like my best friend, he's Puerto Rican. He was the only person who ever knew that I was Latino, and he knew that for years because I didn't fit the stereotypical look. As black Latinos, it's so annoying. Like, you're black and Latino? Really? Like, oh my god, it's like, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing porque tú tienes la cultura, pero it's also a curse because people don't understand. And people still think Latino is a race for some reason. Hispanic just means that, same thing as Latino, like you're from a Spanish-speaking country. We don't get to see ourselves in media, and I feel like they still could have made Clawdeen black. She still could have very well been black, but she could have been a black Latina, like a real Latina. Like, she could have been a real black Latina. Like, she could have been negrita, ya sabe, you know what I mean? And she could still appeal to both communities, the black community and the Afro-Latino community. Because at the end of the day, soy morenito. Like, we're all, like, as black Afro-Latinos, we're all black. And I'm not talking about the mixed ones. Like, Monster High's been doing pretty good with their diversity, and they've been getting a lot of praise for it, but it's still kind of bittersweet. Somebody said this before, and I actually agree with them. From a real Afro-Latino, if you want real Afro-Latino representation, get a black Latino and put them in there, or put her in there. Because representation is important. Us Afro-Latinos are just as black as you guys. Race is based on what you look like, typically. It has nothing to do with your background. So, yeah. I don't know. Food for thought. Okay, just wanted to clear some things up. Just make things clear because some people don't understand. Hispanic and Latino are not the same thing. Hispanic means that you speak Spanish and you're from or descent from a Spanish-speaking country. Latino means that you are a descent from a Latin American country. Not every Latin country speaks Spanish. For example, Brazil, they do not speak Spanish. Therefore, they are not Hispanic. Hispanic means you speak Spanish. That country they speak Spanish. Brazil is a good example of a Latino country, Latino people, but don't speak Spanish. Just wanted to clear that up.
You can't be mixed with Hispanic. Hispanic literally just means Spanish speaking. Second of all, Afro-Latino does not mean... Okay. Y'all don't know what Afro-Latino means. And that's what kills me. Y'all be dragging this where y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Afro-Latino means that you're black from a Spanish-speaking country. You're not Afro-Latino if one of your parents is black and then the other parent is Latino. That literally just means that you're mixed. You're not Afro-Latino. I'm Afro-Latino. I claim Afro-Latino because both my parents are black and we are from a Spanish-speaking country, okay? My ancestors derived from St. Vincent in Africa, but for centuries we've been in Honduras, so that's why I claim Afro-Latino. Both of my parents are black, okay? And people ask me all the time, what are you mixed with? If you're Honduran, what are you mixed with? I'm not mixed with anything. Both my parents are black. Racially, we're black. So once again, there's a difference between having parents of different racial identities versus having parents that are black from a Spanish-speaking country.
Being Afro-Latino is so weird because you're part of two communities that will choose and pick when and when not to claim you. For example, with the black community, they'll be like, yeah, you're black, this is and that. And then turn around and be like, no, you're not really that black. And then within the Latino community, they'll be like, oh, tú no eres Latino, te no pases como Latino, tú eres moreno, y todo. Cabrón, qué carajo.
Things people have literally said in front of me, not knowing that I know Spanish. Lego. All right, you should be all set. Thank you. Finalmente, después de 5 minutos. I'm sorry. I probably could have moved a little faster, but I was having some issues with my register. ¿De dónde eres? De Puerto Rico. You're Puerto Rican? Mm-hmm.
I feel like us Afro-Latinos have it the worst, and this is why. Let me know if I'm bugging. So I was at work yesterday, and one of my coworkers, she's an older, Spanish lady. She doesn't really know any English. She attempts to ask me a question in English, but I responded in Spanish because I kind of understood what she's saying, but I didn't want to, I didn't want her to force herself to speak English back to me, so I responded back in Spanish. She was like, "Oh my God, gracias a Dios que usted habla español." I said, "Sí, yo hablo un poquito de español, pero mi español no es tan bueno," right? So one of the managers, he overheard the conversation. He came up to me. He was like, "Yo, bro, you speak Spanish?" I said, "Yeah, I speak Spanish." He was like, "Yo, bro, if I knew you spoke Spanish, I would have spoken Spanish to you a long time ago." And he started laughing. In my mind, I'm like, "I speak English just fine. Like, you don't need to speak Spanish to me. You feel me?" And then he was like, "Where you from?" I said, "I'm from Honduras." He was like, "I never met a Honduran as black as you." Excuse me?
Sea un poquito más latina, como un poquito. So then here comes the part where I'm more latina. Because el prototipo de la mujer latina, with all due respect, es una mujer como tú, como Jenny.
First of all, I love Amara La Negra. I love how she uses her platforms to speak up about Afro-Latinidad. And in this interview, she made such a good point. We have two well-known Spanish channels across the US and Latin America. And you will rarely see them cast black people for their novelas, for their shows, interviews. And then you can see the lack of inclusion that exists within the Latino community.
¿Cómo está, señor? Yo quisiera saber cuánto cuesta esto.
Yes, I don't know.
¿Usted no sabe el precio?
Price here, price there.
Pero usted trabaja aquí, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I'm working here 3 years. 3 years.
Ok. ¿De dónde usted?
Me from México.
Ok.
Yes,
Pero te estoy hablando español, yo hablo español también.
a little bit Spanish, little bit English, you know?
Ok.
Yes, you know.
With all that being said, I feel like G3 Monster High has, they have the best intentions. I know they have good intentions, but they just missed the mark. Like, I love G3 Monster High. This isn't a hate video, but I feel like they just went on TikTok and looked up Afro-Latinos or Afro-Latina, and they saw a whole bunch of mixed people claiming Afro-Latino. That's not, no. If you do have one black parent and you're Latina or Latino, at least make sure the black parent is actually Afro-Latino or Afro-Latina. At least make sure, because then and only then will you be able to say, "Oh, I'm Afro-Latino," because your parent is Afro-Latino. You know what I mean? Not, "Oh, one of my parents is African-American." No, that does not make you Afro-Latino. At least make sure that the black parent is Afro-Latino if you are going to claim Afro-Latino. For a while, I honestly didn't understand what African American I know what it meant, but I also kind of didn't. I was kind of confused. Okay, what? But when you think of someone who is African American, you think of a black person, specifically black Americans. Those are people you normally think of. So even Latinos, I'll see a lot of mestizo Latinos or mulatto Latinos at least be like, "Oh, I'm Afro-Latino. Because they're African descent. A lot of people are actually African descent, but that doesn't mean we should go around claiming something that we don't exactly know the meaning of. Like African American, no, it's associated with a black person who is of African descent. Not that you have African descent in you, it means that you're pretty much black. That's kind of what it is for Afro-Latinos. It's like you're black, but you're African descent. But for generations or centuries, you've been in Latin America. But even then, people claiming African American are actually not African American. They're actually from other places, or they're actually indigenous to America. That's a topic for another day. The point is, when we're talking about ethnicity, we're talking about your origin, your place of origin. You can't pick and choose when to be black. Having one black grandparent doesn't make you black. I just want to say that because some people really like, well, my grandmother might. No, you're still Blanca, or like you're everything but black. Like, no, like, unlike ethnicity is like somewhere like where your origin, like your country, your la cultura, like, you know what I mean. Race is a completely different thing. If you do not appear as black, then you're not black. You're not black to the States. Like, publicly, you're not black. People aren't going to perceive you as black if you don't have black features or even your skin color. Ethnicity is just where you've been recently. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where you're from recently. I'm indigenous here and from Cuba. But just because you have, because again, a lot of people actually have, almost everybody, basically the point is, people have African descent in them, but that does not make them black. Black is literally what you look like. If you look white, you're white. You're racially white. If you look black, you're black. Like, and I'll see people do this. It's so annoying. Like, people will be like, oh, I'm not white, I'm olive, or oh, I'm this, or I'm Asian, I'm da-da-da-da, talking about all their ethnicities and stuff. And it's like, but racially, you're white. If I said the same thing, if I said, oh, I'm not black, I'm moreno, or I'm not black, I'm Latino, people would be like, huh, you're still black. You can't run away from that. Like, as Afro-Latinos or Black Latinos, we can't run away from our race. No matter what our ethnicity is, we're always going to be black at the end of the day. So, like, it's just so annoying. It's like, ooh, it's a thing. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means a lot. I just wish more people would be more aware. Like, as much as I would love to give Mattel brownie points and be like, oh yeah, Afro-Latino, the representation, da-da-da-da, it's like, no, it's kind of like a bittersweet moment, because Black Latinos don't get representation. If anything, we're mixed with Hispanic. That's all we get. But you never see someone who's black but from Latin America. You never see that. So I don't know, it just means a lot. I wish people share this video, because I just need people to understand that, like, and I'm not the only Black Latino that agrees. Also, one more thing before I go, not every Afro-Latino or Black Latino claims Afro-Latino. You know, some Black Latinos just say they're Black Latinos, but some people sum it up and say they're Afro-Latino. But then again, nowadays, Black Latinos don't even call themselves Afro-Latino that much anymore, because when you think of Afro-Latino, you think of someone like Clawdeen, who's biracial. Okay, but I'm not going to hold you very long. I'm going to end this video. Please, like, I don't know. But, like, comment. What did you think? Did you know this already? Do you know Latinos who identify as Afro-Latino or Black Latinos when they're not black? Or, like, literally, like, it'll be like Latinos that'll be like mulatto, or like they're great. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, first of all, what? It'll be, or even mestizos, it'll be like, oh, I'm African descent, but you don't even look half black. It's like, okay, really? Anyway, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'm also going to make a video on the whole G1 Clawdeen being black, because I started thinking about something last night and things wasn't adding up. Like I'll see people like try to do Clawdeen's voice, but Clawdeen has a Bronx accent, like a New York Bronx accent. But when people do Clawdeen Blancos, they'll make her like, girl, like they make her stereotypically black. But I started thinking, is G1 Clawdeen really black anyway? Or do people think she's black because of the way she speaks, because she has a high temper, and because she's an independent black woman? I'm really thinking about that. That's probably gonna be my next video. But anyway, let me know what you guys, did you know this, or what do you guys think? And yeah.